He had close to 4 drinks during lunch, and as we were chatting, he kept on asking me the same question over and over. So when I finished lunch, I had already alerted one of the crew members that, he had way too many, so just be cautious.
It's important that we sift out the fiction from the facts. You were there. What happened?
See, I'm not here to do justice, or I'm not here to do a trial for what happened. I'm just going to stick to the facts.
Absolutely.
First of all, the incident happened. It happened post-lunch. We were having lunch together, and some of the claims that Shankar's father made was correct, because he said the same thing to me. He had come after a long haul flight, but he had close to 4 drinks during lunch, and as we were chatting, he kept on asking me the same question over and over. So when I finished lunch, I had already alerted one of the crew members that he had way too many, so just be cautious, make sure. And then I went to sleep. And then it was a turbulent flight. I suddenly hear a noise, and I see Shankar. Basically, he fell on his seat, and he was sleeping. He passed out. He was sleeping. So I went to use the restroom, and that's when the lady came, and she had. I really didn't understand till she explained what happened, because she had. I thought she had spilled a drink or water on her body. She's here to clean up. And then she told us what happened. And see, the reason I was upset was a lot of standard operating procedures was not followed. But I should also tell you, there was 2 young air hostesses, Rebecca and Ruby, who went above and beyond their call of duty and wore gloves, cleaned her up, and changed her to the pajama suit they give you to wear. But the reason I filed a written complaint, which went nowhere, and thanks to you guys, your sister network is the one who first spoke to me.
Yes.
The Times of India, that it went nowhere. And this 2 air hostesses, Rebecca and Ruby, were the one who cleaned her up, cleaned her bag. But it took close to 2.5 hours for them to to decide. I understand the business class was full, but there were 4 empty seats in the first. But they could not take a call to give her a fresh seat. They kept blanket on her seat, which was smelling of urine, and they sprayed, and close to after 2 hours they gave her a crew seat when one of the crews finished resting, and they are in no position to mediate or even bring both of them together. They should have just stick to what is the procedure. That is, an incident have happened.
Absolutely.
You on landing, you report it to the authority, and that's it. But somebody in the whole spectrum of things did not take accountability. They did not do the right thing.
Well, Shankar, I really appreciate that you have decided to stick to the facts. I have a few questions that I'd like, so that we have a clearer understanding of what really happened. First, you said that after lunch, you informed the crew members that he had way too many. How many did you see him drink? Was he drinking on board? Did he come in drunk on board? And what did the crew do after you complained?
See, he didn't. I didn't feel he came drunk on board, but he had 4 stiff drinks over like maybe a 45 minutes lunch. And when in the process of conversation, you could say that, he was incoherent. So that's why I kind of gently alerted the crew, one of the male crew who was basically taking care of our side, that just watch the guy. So they are trained for things like that. They should they should know how to handle such situation. See the people, those who travel from Delhi, New York, and I travel a lot, usually you don't get situations like this because half of them are sleeping, everybody is tired, exhausted. So there is not that kind of rationing in drinks or something because everybody behaves. But here, these things went out of control.
Also, you said that there were protocols which were flouted. What are these specific protocols? Also, did you know Shankar Mishra beforehand, or were you a co-passenger? Were you sitting in the seat next to him?
Yes, I was in 8 Alpha. He was in 8 Charlie. Okay. I was sitting next to. He was sitting next to me. I had the window seat. He had the aisle seat.
You said that you spoke to this lady in question. What kind of a mindset was she really in? What was her state of mind, rather? Was she anguished? Was she traumatized, as her daughter says she was?
She's a very soft-spoken lady. She's a very decent lady, and she was traumatized. So she was not one of those person who was shouting or doing that. And partly that is why it did not become a big tamasha in the flight. Absolutely. Because she was quiet, and her daughter did reach out to me, I think the next day or after, and asked me my side of the story, and she did say that they are going to write to the Tata chairman. Now, I wanted the JLB, the General Ledger book. They didn't give it to me. They gave me a piece of paper, and I wrote a written complaint. Fortunately, it went nowhere, but I took a photograph of what I have written, which I gave it to one of the journalists of your sister concern in Times of India, and I narrated everything there. Again, going back to what was not followed was, you cannot, when a crime is created, you cannot act on your behalf and try to mediate it. Your job is to give the person to the responsible authority and let the authority and the land of the the law of the land decide the course of action.
You're absolutely right, Shogato. That is the protocol. However, later on, as per this lady, she says that Shankar Mishra, when he started sobering up, she wanted him arrested, but they insisted that they speak to her, that they brought him over to her and made to sit in close quarters, and they tried to broker some kind of a compromise. Did you witness what happened at that time?
Yes, I did, because, if you are looking towards the tail of the aircraft, the galley is there. On the right side, there are 2 seats next to the door, and they were being set on the left side door windows, and they were talking to each other. And I didn't like the whole thing, but I recused myself. I said, like a vigilant co-passenger, I'll write a complaint. And what happens, I don't know. I was angry, and I was angry because nobody took the accountability.
Absolutely.
And in this flight, the chief air hostess or the commander should have taken the call, and should have taken her away from the business class, and would never let her interact with him. And
did the cabin crew tell the pilot? Are you aware whether or not they even informed the pilot? Did the pilot know?
So yes, because I was very angry when they made her put blankets and made her sit on the same seat. So I went and I said, "Ki 4 first class seat khali hai, aap unko bitha dijiye." They said, "No, we can't." I said, "Why can't you do?" Now they said, "Oh, well, because the PIC, the pilot in command, is resting." Now, you have to understand, in a long flight like this, they have 2 sets of crews, like pilots. So the PIC is the pilot in command. Because he was resting, the chief stewardess said she cannot take the call, which is baloney. Because
Absolutely.
You don't need to, in a situation like this, you have to take some decisions on, by yourself, or just ask the commander who is flying that this has happened, this is what I'm going to do.
But Shogato, you must explain, because this is very disturbing to think that the pilot knew. No action was taken. The crew went and told him, but the pilot was resting. But there are also alternative places for the pilot to rest. There are cockpit seats as well he could have taken. That's where eventually this lady was made to sit for almost 2 hours. So it's appalling what you are telling us. So it appears that the pilot knew, but still no action was taken, even on the complaint that you had given.
And everybody knew no action was taken. And again, it all boils down to accountability. If you want me to analyze it, what they had a 16-hour flight. They are all thinking, oh, if we call the authority, it will be another 3-hour ordeal. They will take our statement and we'll have to stay another 3 hours. And they will, we already had a long flight. So let them speak. Let things work out within the 2 people, and okay, let's forget that whole thing. And that is my complaint.
Absolutely. See, let's just get it over with. That was the attitude of the crew, you say.
Exactly.
But Shogato, you also said that you saw that seat which was drenched with urine. Can you just tell us about that? You said they put blankets there.
The blankets there, and even there was a lady next to her, and she is from Kolkata, and she was complaining because the whole place was smelling. But they did as much, and again, there were 2 in every situation. There are people who rise to the occasion, and there were these 2 young ladies, Rebecca and Ruby, who went. They cleaned up, they sprayed, and they did whatever they need to do. And again, the buck stops with the guy who is the head of the flight.
Absolutely.
And he should have taken the call to inform the respective authorities. That's it.
Now, Shogato, the reason why all of this is very distressing, I'm sure, for the complainant, this elderly lady whom you said is very soft-spoken, a very mild-tempered lady, because now she faces the charge of trying to blackmail Shankar Mishra.
See, I saw an incident, I reported it, and I thought the airlines will take its own course. What happens next? I really don't want to get into it. This is between the 2 parties and the judiciary system and the investigating authorities to decide. I really want to refrain from commenting on that part.
Fair enough, Shogato. But another one of the things which was said by the father of Shankar Mishra, he came on live yesterday on Times Now, and he was telling us, who are the eyewitnesses? No one else complained about it. No one even knew. Why was she the only one drenched? This is all hearsay.
No, it is not. See, and that is, and when I was speaking to your print journalist, Manju, editor, and of TOI, and that is what I said. And that is one thing what made me angry. See, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and India is a very forgiving country. It gives second chance, but he should not nullify. A crime has happened. He should say it has happened. And, there may be many reasons why. Maybe he was exhausted. We don't know. I'm not here to analyze why it happened, but he should not say everything is the thing did not happen when it happened. And it's almost like you are in a place and you see somebody coming with blood in their body, and you see another person with the knife in their hand, but then somebody questions you, like, did you really see her actually stabbing? So I mean, things are not always that black and white, but she had urine all over her body, and it was not a pleasant sight.
It was not a pleasant sight. It was stinking, is what Shogato is also saying.
Exactly.
Now, Shogato, you said that you had given a written complaint. When did you write this complaint? When did you give it? Was it on that day itself after you landed, or was it during the flight?
No.
And did anyone contact you?
Nobody contacted me except for the victim's daughter, and she contacted me and she said, hey, we are very angry, and I wanted to thank you for helping my mother and to thank you for writing a complaint. And I just WhatsApped her back, I think, the complaint that I had written. But they gave me a piece of paper, and I wrote a 2-page complaint.
And no one after that from Air India contacted you?
No, because nobody submitted it.
Where did that piece of paper go after you wrote that complaint? Whom did you give it to?
I don't know. I gave it to the senior person, but I said, I want to take a photo of what I am giving you.
In Air India, a senior person in Air India?
Not Air India, the senior crew member. I gave it to the lead staff member, and I said, because I asked her for JLB, which is the General Ledger book, and she said, well, we don't have it now, but I'll give you a piece of paper. You can write the complaint there.
So, Shogato, you said that the written complaint was given. No one acted upon it. Now, finally, there is an internal probe by the Air India, which has been ordered after good 40 days. And DGCA has given them a show cause notice. There is the Delhi police, which is also, of course, looking into the matter. Has the Delhi police asked you to join in their probe? Because I believe you live in Hampshire. So, are you going to be part of the Delhi police's probe process if they ask you?
Well, I'll help the investigation if they want, but, I live in the US. Unless I am traveling, it won't be possible for me to join there physically. But if they want to take my account on Zoom or like Teams, I'm ready to help them. Definitely.